and people not of Earth also. People not of Earth. If you are not from Earth, we'd also like to invite you to join us.
And people of Uranus.
And people of Uranus. If you'd like to crawl out of the dismal black hole in the sky known as Uranus, you may join us now in our illustrious world
welcome to Film Banter.
of Film Banter. You're all welcome. Everyone is welcome here.
Very inclusive.
Except anyone living on Pennsylvania Avenue. You can all bite my ass.
Exactly.
All right, folks. We're ready to begin the show. Are we ready? Are we ready? Everything appears to be ready. I think Joan, did you check out the photos this time? Are they okay? Yeah, they're okay, Mr. Smith.
Cool.
All right, fine. Thank you,
We're good
Joan.
to go.
All right, we're ready to go.
Welcome aboard, everybody.
Welcome aboard. It's a pleasure.
Another episode 119 tonight.
Privilege. That's right.
Episode 119.
119. That's right, dude.
It's a long time.
It's a long time, man.
It's good to be here.
2 years, dude.
Yeah, it's over 2 years.
I know,
We're going
it's over
3.
years, dude.
When we hit September 21st, it's going to be 3 years we've been doing this.
Oh my God, really?
That was the first show, September 21st,
Oh, Jesus.
2016.
Well, that's just horrifying.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, actually.
Well, there you go. We'll all
made
say
it.
we did make it.
You didn't think we'd make it past 15.
Would you like to discuss any? Would you like to discuss dinner tonight, perhaps?
If you'd like, we had Mexican fare this evening. We went to Hacienda.
we were detoured.
We were, because the other location
We were going to go to the Mawa Bar and Grill
For pasta
which
night.
is for pasta night, which is always wonderful with Chef Pierre.
Chef Pierre.
I always enjoy Chef Pierre. He's
too.
a wonderful guy, and he just does a great job. And you can always say to Chef Pierre, it's what is it, $8.99, $9.99?
Oh, it's like $14.99.
Oh, is it?
But it includes salad and
Salad and a drink too.
and a drink if
And
you like.
get
a soft drink.
A soft drink.
Not an alcoholic
No, I think you
beverage.
can have a beer too.
No, you can't.
I
It's not
got
alcohol.
a beer once though.
Did you?
I did.
I think it's extra.
Maybe she
Maybe
was
like
being
you know,
kind to us.
Maybe she was. Maybe a
Maybe.
domestic draft at best. But
There you go.
anyway, we couldn't get into the parking lot, so we went up the road to Hacienda and suffered.
Packed to the gills, so
The
we had
place
to-
was dead.
And we went to
Walked right in.
La Hacienda, which the last time we did go there was
was packed.
absolutely jammed to the rafters.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we may have had to wait.
No,
maybe-
we got the last table.
Did
in the
we get the
joint.
last table?
And then by the time we left, the place was a ghost town.
Exactly.
But tonight
we
was
have
good.
that effect on crowds.
We do.
Wherever we go, there may be thousands of people. Next thing you know, they're all cleared
Yeah,
out. They're
yeah.
all cleared out.
There's something
They don't
you
want
said?
anything to do with
Maybe
it.
it's something you said.
No, it wasn't. They can't
No, we're
hear,
fine.
They
It's a
can't hear my
coincidence.
dialogue.
But yeah, so I will say that it was fun when I went to see Rocketman yesterday.
Yes.
And
yes.
this was the first time in the history of us doing this show
Very true.
that you and I ran into each other in the theater. In the same row. Out of the whole place, it was pretty empty.
I
you picked
absolutely
a seat
agree.
3 over from me.
I know.
A dead center of the
Exactly.
theater.
There were 2 seats.
Because we know what good seats are. You know?
We know what the good seats are, and it really blew my mind.
And I said to him, excuse me, sir, can you please get off your phone? Because he was like silencing his phone.
I was silencing it, and I was about to turn it off.
Yeah.
As I always do. I silence it, I turn it off, because I don't want to be...
No.
Because sometimes during the film, if you leave the
Yeah, I always
out,
silence it.
somebody will text you or
Uh-huh.
call you, and the phone lights up.
It
I did
does.
not wish that to happen. So
Because you're a
I-
respectful moviegoer.
Absolutely.
Damn it.
Absolutely. I did, however, note, but we were rudely interrupted anyway. Our film was a washout because next door in the Dolby Atmos Theater
Oh, that was Godzilla.
was fucking Godzilla.
I did hear it a couple times.
A couple times.
I
I
only
through
took-
the whole thing.
See, I took note of it only twice.
Oh man, I heard
I
it the
tuned
whole
it out.
time. It was that thundering.
I know.
Boisterous, low bass. It sounded like
Sucks.
the London Symphony was
I know.
literally in the next room. It
was
just
pretty loud.
god awful at
Yeah.
times. I noticed it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm
See, you were
very
closer
conscious.
to the speaker than I was on that side.
Just-
you were
I-
closer to the door.
But I only left one seat. I did move over. There was only one seat between us, so I doubt that.
That's right. You did move closer.
I doubt
because
that
at first
the
you weren't.
volume did not
Yeah.
affect you.
Well, see, honest, like I said,
more or less.
I only took note of it a couple times.
Well, maybe you're going a little deaf here in your Alzheimer's.
No, I just can
mode?
tune it out.
Can you?
Yeah, I can tune it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. It would have been nice if Rocketman should have been, I think, maybe in the Dolby Atmos Theater. That would have been a more
Would have
enjoyable
been nice. Yeah.
experience. But,
Well, I know that certain showtimes were.
were they?
There were choices. Yeah, and our
They did alternate. They did
Our
alternate.
Showtime was one of the non-Dolby ones.
Correct, indeed.
So would have been nice, but regardless, it was kind of fun to catch you in the same show.
Very bizarre.
1:45 yesterday. Gardens
I
of the
looked
Plaza.
over and there's a bald guy sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Who the hell is? Oh, it's Chris with his new haircut.
Well, the guy asked me, the projectionist. He goes, "Can I project the film on your forehead?" I said, "Not tonight."
I know. Well,
Yeah.
you know, you're always a hoot at parties.
Exactly.
Because you have that hydrocephalic forehead.
I do.
That we can in fact show home movies.
Exactly. It's
And
very
sometimes
nice.
some porn. We like to show porn.
We
And,
can, if
you
you
know,
like.
there might be a penis or so. You know, just kind of going down there.
Yeah, I'll pass.
It's just a wonderful experience.
Hey,
for
you know what
all.
though? When I'm completely bald, it'll be so much easier. I don't have to do anything. I just get out of the
Don't do a
shower,
damn
walk
thing.
out the door.
You and Woody Harrelson out on the
Perfect.
town. Out on the town.
I look forward.
just
I look
don't
forward
have-
to those days.
Don't have to do a damn thing.
Exactly.
Very good indeed.
But I
Well,
will say that this is only the second time in all the years of us knowing each other, which is almost, 12, 13 years now, that I've ever run into you, period, at a theater. Yesterday was only the second time.
You're right.
The first time was
First
in the
time
hallway at the Palisades
It's me.
Mall.
It's Chris from Chili's.
Hey, it's Chris from Chili's.
I know.
Yeah,
Because Chris used to work
So-
at Chili's.
when we
So,
first met.
I'm
We've told this
running
story many
I was
times.
going in to see. I was going in to see
Star Wars, Revenge
Star
of the
Wars,
Fall- the
Revenge of the
Sith.
Sith, or whatever
Yeah.
it was, with Hunter Thompson. With Hunter,
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen, right? Was going in to see that film.
there I saw you.
And suddenly I hear, was Lynn with me?
You were by
I
yourself.
was by myself.
I was with some friends.
And suddenly I hear behind, and it was a daytime show. It was not
Yeah,
a
we were
nighttime.
just getting out, and you were going in.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Different
it was
theaters.
It was a daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just left
I
Star
remember
Wars.
the aisle it was. The aisle that I saw you in is the one.
First
where
one to the right.
The booth.
Yeah.
The booth of the people. This was at the Palisades.
Yeah, you were in the hallway going into the
Correct.
first. There's
And-
3 arteries. 1, 2, and 3. You were going into this one.
Exactly.
We were coming out of the one from over there.
Bingo. Well, the little customer service booth. Is
Exactly,
Right, there,
exactly.
right where you were.
Exactly.
So you were kind of. It's Chris from Chili's.
Because that was so early in us knowing each other that I didn't remember your name.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, at that moment. Because I
Very
think I
well
only knew
indeed.
you maybe 2 months at that point.
Okay.
Maybe
Is that
not
right?
even. Not even. It
Is
was.
that right?
It was early enough. It must have been only a few weeks because I didn't remember.
So
your
I'm
name.
running down and I go, and I suddenly hear, "Hey!"
Hey, you.
And I go, "What?"
It's Chris from Chili's.
There you go. And I go, "Oh, hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
I'm
dude.
late to a movie, man.
I gotta go, man."
Yeah.
I wonder if I was in the process, because I always do this, as you know, is to miss. You might have noted when I walked in.
No, yeah,
the
you
theater.
were deliberately missing trailers.
I
yeah.
was deliberately late
You
coming
only-
in at the Rocketman
You,
show.
you only saw one trailer.
I saw one trailer.
And you
precisely.
leaned
What
over and
trailer
said,
was
"That looks pretty good."
Oh yeah,
Gemini Man.
Gemini Man. Yes,
Will Smith.
with Will
Looks
Smith.
like Looper Part 2.
No, it looks
Although
like
Looper was future
iRobot
self.
Part 2 is what it looked like to me.
A little bit.
Yeah, it had that same sci-fi.
This is just a
essence.
clone of him.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
we digress. It
I
was
did
fun
like the
catching-
way in that trailer, however, and we should get going here.
Yeah, we
but-
really should start.
But I did like in the trailer that they did the young Will Smith. They did a CGI of the young Will Smith
Yeah.
versus how he looks now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a clone of his younger self.
And let me point this out to you, ladies and gentlemen, that is where movies are headed. We are just eventually just going to see,
Yeah.
young Marilyn Monroe maybe talking to older Spencer Tracy
Ryan Gosling or something.
Who the hell knows?
Well, that's what George Lucas always wanted to do.
I know.
Was bring Bogart doing a film with George Clooney.
Exactly.
I don't know if
Be
we're
a
gonna.
kick.
It's gonna be tight. That's gonna be tough to do.
No, it can be done. I think it can be done.
But it opens up a whole Pandora's box of you got to get the rights from the surviving relatives to say, is it okay that we do this?
Very true.
Hey, as long as they're getting paid.
Yeah, but money is no object to filmmakers of today. I think George Lucas would,
No.
Plus, if George Lucas was in the process of actually wanting to do such a endeavor, that I think that anybody in the estate of Marilyn Monroe or
Well, they would
whoever
probably, hopefully, jump at the
would
chance.
probably love to have that done.
Kinda cool.
Yeah, it would be very.
It could be
cool
very
indeed.
interesting.
I agree.
The only thing would be, how do you get that new performance? You're gonna have to catalog all the performances they've ever given on film, and then use that to program the computerized emotion using previous.
Not necessarily.
Dialogue.
Not necessarily.
Because that's how Roger Ebert was able to have his new voice when he was in his last few years.
No, I
They
understand
used
that. Well,
stuff from the TV show.
Stephen Hawking had that voice
Well,
also, but they didn't take it from that. They took
Hawking always had a robotic voice. Ebert, they programmed his voice catalog
and
from
they
everything
took
he
it
said from the show.
No, wasn't
Yeah,
the
they
show
did.
at all. They took it from his commentaries. He has
Oh, you're right,
two
the
major
that's right, the
commentaries. He has
commentaries,
Citizen
yeah.
Kane,
Yeah,
and he
you're
also
right.
did Dark City. And they
And I feel like they must have done other things too.
and many other commentaries, and they took his dialogue
that's
from
true.
there.
They did do that.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what they did. It had nothing to do with the show.
But I'm saying, going forward, they're going to have to do something like that for these other actors.
You know
these dead
something?
actors.
I don't think so. I don't think that it's going to have to be a simulation of body movement, because all they need is an actor
No, that's not what
to
I'm talking-
play
I'm
the
talking
body
about-
and just put the head on like they did in Ryan Gosling.
No, I understand
Not
that.
Ryan
But
Gosling,
no, I'm
but,
talking about.
Chris Evans in the first, that Benjamin Button look.
I know, yeah, no, but I'm not talking about that. That I agree with 100%. I'm talking about the performance, not the physical performance.
Oh, the voice?
The voice, the emoting.
All they need is somebody in a studio to emulate the voice and synthesize it. And
Well, if they want to go all natural and use the actual actor's voice, they're going to have to catalog all that, which I think would be kind of cool. It seems doable. They've all probably done enough films. that
yeah,
can
they
do
probably
that.
won't use the actual actor's voice. It's too easy to find somebody who does a good
Got to do
vocal
really good though.
impression.
Good though. It's got to be really
Yeah.
good, not hokey.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but let's move on because we probably ate up 10 minutes here. But there was a nice opening for a change.
That's what I said to her, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. But so all right.
So Rocketman, our
Here we
first
are.
movie. You all probably know about this. If you don't, you're under a rock. It's the story of Elton John.
You're under a rock, man.
Exactly. But it only covers the first, let's say, 10 years of his career. It doesn't delve too deeply.
No, it doesn't. It kind of goes into the John Reed years.
Yeah.
John Reed was also in the Queen film. He was
played by Littlefinger.
Littlefinger.
But they didn't get into
no,
his.
that wasn't Littlefinger.
Yes, it was.
No, it
Littlefinger
wasn't.
from Game of Thrones played John Reed.
Littlefinger. It was the King who played. The King is not Littlefinger. Littlefinger is the guy who wears the Nehru jacket.
That's Littlefinger.
That's Littlefinger.
That's the guy that played John Reed in Bohemian Rhapsody.
No way.
Then who
it was
was
the
it?
King. The King. The
From
King
Game of Thrones?
Yes.
He was not in.
Rob Stark. That was Rob Stark.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm saying Rob Stark. Richard Mann is the actor.
Yes.
He played him in Rocketman.
Correct.
I'm saying Bohemian Rhapsody was played by Littlefinger.
Oh.
He's the one that plays
Oh.
John Reed
Oh, I'm
in
terribly
Bohemian
sorry.
Rhapsody.
My mistake.
That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were
But
saying
no,
Littlefinger was in this film.
No, because I told you who it was when we came out of the theater.
All
I
right.
told you it was Richard Madden from Game of Thrones.
Yes, you
Rob
did.
Stark.
That's what I thought you did.
Yeah, that's why I don't know why you were confused. Anyway.
Let's get into the film, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think they do take some liberties with some of the time frame, because in real life, when he gets sober, it's like early 90s.
Yeah,
In
and
this
also-
movie, it didn't delve into the 90s really.
You know, and they used a lot of his later songs, early
They
parts.
did,
of
like that song "I Want Love," which was 2001.
need
They used
love.
that in the beginning of this film.
They did.
But I thought that
And
was a
that was-
wonderful moment in the film.
I
I thought
agree.
it was great.
I agree. It was a
I
wonderful
watched that video again yesterday because I remembered it. It was the one where Robert Downey Jr. was just talking, singing the lyrics of "I Want Love,"
Oh.
and it's one camera take walking around this mansion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was cool.
Interesting.
And that was right when Downey Jr. was coming out of rehab and getting reintroduced into Hollywood.
Precisely.
But,
Well,
um,
that was from the that was right around the time when Elton actually worked with a guy named Tim Rice.
Yes.
Who was from the Evita and always
And I
worked with
think he-
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah,
But he worked
yeah.
with Tim Rice to specifically work on the Lion
King, yeah.
soundtrack back in 1990.
Yeah, I was hoping the movie would have touched on that. That would have been cool. But
No, it didn't
can't
really.
do everything.
You know, this film was a bit of a downer, I thought. It just touched on the down parts.
It was pretty depressing at
It
times.
really touched on the down
And he
parts.
wanted
of
that
Elton.
to be in the film.
You know,
he wanted warts and all. Elton, we're speaking.
Exactly. Now, this guy looks nothing like Bernie Taupin. If you know what Bernie
I
Taupin
know. Well, they
looks
show
like.
him at the end. Looks nothing like it. But I like Jamie Bell as an actor. I like
Yeah,
him.
he's great too, but I mean, and here's Rob Stark.
That's Richard
There he
Madden.
is from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Who was excellent.
He was
As a-
good.
He's a royal prick in this film.
Yeah,
and
he is.
plays it,
I didn't know the guy was that much of a prick, because in Bohemian Rhapsody, they didn't even touch on his homosexuality.
No, they did not.
Yeah.
No, and you
That's
know,
a
they-
great shot. First shot
Yeah,
of the
that's
film.
when he's coming.
That was a cool
yeah,
shot.
He's leaving Madison Square and he's coming
Yeah.
in to go to the.
He goes right to rehab. Yeah.
group therapy.
Oh, by the way, remember I told you that when we were coming out of the theater that the director of this movie was Dexter Fletcher.
Correct.
He did Eddie the Eagle with Hugh Grant and with Hugh Jackman and Taron Egerton.
Jack Human,
And I
as he
said, yeah, Jack Human. And I said that he sounds like the guy who came in and stepped in and finished Bohemian Rhapsody when they fired Bryan Singer.
Right.
And I said to myself, no, that's not him. But I was right. That is him.
Really?
They did hire him to come back
And
finish the past
Bohemian?
couple weeks
Okay.
and oversee post-production. It was
Wow.
him. Yeah. They must have seen a lot of the dailies from this and said, this guy's the guy to bring in, you know? But I think he was probably
Very
simultaneously doing post on both movies.
Did I like this film?
I'm going to say, well, since you said it's a little bit of a downer, I'm going to think you were a little disappointed overall.
I don't know if I was disappointed. I was disappointed in their choice of Taron Egerton. I just don't think he was the right choice for this
I thought
role.
he was pretty good.
Did you really?
Yeah, well,
I thought his acting was very superficial, very flat. I didn't find any great depth within. I don't think he's a great actor. He's not going to get an Academy Award nomination like Rami Malek did.
No, well,
No way.
I think at the very least he'll get the Globe. You know, the Globe is kind of like Oscar.
Well, I don't think so.
I think he'll get
by the time the Globes
comedy
and the
musical
Oscars,
category. They'll probably give it to
It's
him.
only June.
A
We're
nod.
going to forget about this performance, and I think they should
I think this
forget
will be
about
out for Best Musical at the Globes.
At the Globes,
I think
yeah.
so. Yeah, not Oscar, not Best
Not
Picture. the
Best
Oscar.
Picture, no way.
No, not at all.
You can really tell what an inferior film this was, just the making process, as opposed to Bohemian.
It's not Bohemian Rhapsody. I agree.
Well, Bohemian, yeah, and it's unfair to really compare
I
the
know,
two because
yeah.
they were both made almost simultaneously to some
Almost.
extent.
I kind of wish that Tom Hardy would have hung out a little bit longer on
And
this
played the
project.
Elton John?
Well, he was
The Elton
attached
Bart?
for 3 years.
I know.
And then it took too long to get the movie made. He had to leave. But
Oh.
he definitely would have knocked it out of the park because
I
you
totally
can't compare
agree.
the two.
I totally agree, but you got to.
But I thought he did a decent job, though. I enjoyed
You got to
it.
give him credit. He did do all the singing.
All the singing. I don't know if Tom Hardy's a singer. Well, then again, if he was attached for
Not
3 years,
necessary. Listen, in Bohemian,
He didn't sing at all.
Freddie did all the
You're right.
voice.
You're right.
You
Yeah.
know, did all the vocals.
I think this was a caricature performance of Elton John.
Bingo.
More than anything.
And a caricature film of the Elton persona. I didn't
Remember,
find
this is
to
based
be-
on a true. It's labeled as a true fantasy.
Oh, okay.
So that might be by design.
Well-
we might not be getting that because that's maybe not what they were going for.
Could be,
You know?
be. You know, every song was a big Bollywood kind of production. Had a big production.
It was, and
element
it
to
kind of just
and
eased into it.
And it was a simulation of what his life was at the time,
Yeah.
or I Need Love, or
Yeah.
you know, gosh, give me a song that he did in this film. But it was definitely parallel to the universe
It
of
was.
what was happening in his life.
I agree. Yeah.
And it was kind of cool to see that Elton's songs really were very, very personal.
Yeah.
You know, something we don't think, you know, the bitch is back and,
Yeah.
you know, all the lyrics, you take them out verbatim and you realize that they really do have meaning there.
Yeah.
And to, you know, the certain element. But nobody knows what Benny and the Jets is about. That is, nobody
And
anywhere
that's not
knows
anywhere
what
near
that-
one of my favorites.
Nobody knows. I think it's one of his worst. And when you see Elton in concert, which I have over 8, 9 times,
I would have liked to.
oh my God. Benny and the Jets is like a 15-minute song.
Yeah.
So I just go to the bathroom
That's it,
and
hot dog break.
have a beer and you know, just get the hell out of my seat.
You know, I
for a
think my
while.
favorite song, and I remembered that it was my favorite when it came out at the end of the film, is "I'm Still Standing." I love that.
That is a great
I'm
song.
I went home and I
That
watched the video.
was
Great
the actual
song.
video.
I know.
And they
I
put
watched.
in
I know. I watched it
Taron
when I got
Egerton.
home.
Yeah,
it was cool.
I knew that right away. I was very
Okay.
familiar with that video.
What I took away from this movie the most, I loved the love story between him and Bernie Taupin, the
That was
friendship,
very
the kinship,
lovely.
and the fact that these two guys. It was a synchronicity of them meeting that it could have gone haywire, but they were meant to be partners.
They were.
Because he was just handed a random envelope from a stack.
Absolutely.
I saw him last
Yeah.
night. I watched a bunch of stuff online, and I saw an appearance of Elton John on Stephen Colbert from a year or two ago.
Okay.
When he was releasing this box set, and he was saying that it was amazing. It was an amazing. What's the word I'm looking for?
Meeting of the minds.
Well, it was just a beautiful, perfect, faithful
Collaboration.
moment when he was just handed a random envelope. Because
okay.
he goes, he had a stack of submissions on his desk.
Yeah.
The record guy.
Okay.
He just said, "Here, take this." Could have been anybody.
Could have been anybody.
And it just was a match made in heaven.
Yeah. And it was great lyrics.
It was
right
great.
From the start.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just love it. One guy can do the lyrics.
I know.
One guy can just do the music.
And I did find that to be a very magical moment when he starts to write "This is your song and this one's for you."
Yeah.
That was a magical moment
Yeah, I
for
love
me,
that.
and probably the only one.
That's
This
a great
film,
song too.
This film cries wolf too much.
Yeah.
It's constantly saying, "Poor me, poor me,
I
poor
know.
me." It goes through this. Okay, you know, he's in the Rolls Royce. Dad is loving the 2 kids. There's the big Bollywood. This is one of the opening scenes. I
It
believe.
is, yeah.
Everybody's, you know, dancing around. It looked like La La Land,
Yeah.
the opening of La La Land on the highway. Everybody's out there singing and dancing, and very well choreographed. A lot was done
Very
in
well
one
done.
shot.
Yeah.
The
I love
scene
that
from
stuff.
Saturday Night's All Right for
Yeah,
Fighting.
yeah, yeah. That was
when
a
he's
great
in,
song.
He was jumping out.
Yeah,
the
he jumped out the
thing.
window, then he comes back in.
A lot of one shots.
That was beautiful.
Beautifully
Really well
done.
done.
Nicely done. But this
Yeah.
film just never had it never crossed over into brilliance for me.
Yeah, I know what you're
It
saying.
never went into a category where I was, wow. I never felt wow once.
I thought she was pretty good.
I thought she was pretty
liked
good.
Dallas in this film.
I like the way they aged her.
Yeah, I thought it was very well done.
Bryce Dallas Howard, that's Ron
She
Howard.
plays the mother in this film.
Plays the mom.
I thought she was wonderful.
I thought she was
And
very
I
good
loved the
indeed.
grandmother, too. She was great.
awesome.
She was the one person that really believed in him from the start.
Well, she had the warmth. She's the one that brought him to the Royal Academy to
And I love that scene,
get his scholarship when he was a very young man.
I love that scene when he moves back home and he comes down in the morning in his underwear and a robe and he starts getting the new lyrics from, and he, like you said, he just starts playing. And then it starts magic. And then the grandmother comes in and she's just like in awe.
She's
like,
sitting there
she's
going,
so proud.
oh my God, what a song.
Yeah.
And then mom is like, whoa, he can
Yeah,
play.
I think the grandmother was, I think it's Gemma Jones, was that her? But she was very good.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. He almost looks like Ethan Hawke right there, if you look at him real quick.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He does have that face. You know, both of these guys, of course, one of the main problems with the film is Mr. Edgerton's muscular body. You know, he should have just eaten a little bit of cake.
Elton was pretty pudgy most of his life.
Elton was pudgy and skinny, and he's a scrawny little twerp when he first started out.
Yeah.
That L.A. gig, by the way, at the Troubadour, that's a real thing. There's a great album. It's a black and white album cover called 11/17/70 is the name of the album. And it was his first live album, actually. He didn't do too many live albums. The only later on he did one in Australia, which is a 2-record set with an orchestra, which is wonderful.
That's cool.
But that first album is pretty good. You really do capture that magical essence. And he sings Take Me to the Pilot, which he opened with, of course. And, you know, gee whiz, I really wanted to like this film so much more. I'll still give it 3 stars.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3 easy.
But,
by the way, off topic, you know that shot in the film of the exterior of the Troubadour?
Yeah.
You know that was really footage from back then in the 70s of the exterior, because they said it would cost too much to try to recreate it. They just took footage from the 70s
and
cleaned it up in digital.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. I thought that was pretty cool. They said we're not going to go through the effort for a shot that's in the movie maybe 3.5 seconds.
Well, true. Well, no. Then we have him later on signing autographs at the front of the Troubadour. They must have.
But they might have not done a whole wide shot. Might have been more of a close-up shot where they didn't have to necessarily show.
No. There's a scene later on in front of the Troubadour. But you know, doing the Troubadour, just the front shot of the Troubadour's opening, that can't have been.
Well, that's what it's according to the trivia. That's what they said.
That wouldn't taken them that long, I don't think, to do it. Maybe to do the interior of the Troubadour, that might have been something.
Well, that's easier to do.
Well, sure, they just.
Well, for whatever reason, they said they just didn't think it was worth it. But
Kiki D, I do remember. Don't go breaking my heart.
That was a decent song.
It's a good little tune.
But some of his songs
That was the first song on the Rocket label.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. MCA had a division called Rocket Records.
Yeah.
And that was on the Rocket label. It was a green label. I can still see the little red rocket on it. But
I forgot how many good songs he has. He's a lot. Some of them are very overplayed. Like I don't ever need like Benny and the Jets, Crocodile Rock. I could do without those songs.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But I enjoyed it when watching the film.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you because you might know better. The when he's doing those gigs when he's first starting out as the backup band for that African American band,
right?
The main black guy that sings there, that sits down with him and tells him, "You got to kill the person you were meant to be to become the person you want to be." Who is that supposed to be?
I don't know.
Just some random Motown guy.
Random Motown guy.
I wasn't sure if it was trying to be somebody.
It was a Detroit guy. I grew up in Detroit, but no, they didn't really.
But that was a
let
cool
us know.
scene.
It was a cool scene, and I like the scene when the other black guy in the band sees Elton, goes up and plants a big kiss on the mouth.
That was cool.
Because he knows that Elton...
You can tell,
You just feel it, you know. It's like in Game of Thrones I'm watching. Everybody knows that, the king of whatever...
Kingslayer is fucking his sister.
Yeah, right, who is about to marry Sansa. Sansa, he's about to marry her, and then he can't because now... I'm sorry, forgive me, a little Game of Thrones action there, but then... Dad Lanashir,
the father,
then says, "No, Tyrion, you got to marry.
You got to marry her. Yeah,
you got to marry Sansa. Yeah,
you got to provide a son. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know, so you got to put it in there and squirt a baby into squirt a baby into her belly." But here he is. Here's Rob Stark from Game of Thrones, and I just wanted to love this film so much more than I did, and apparently it's doing very good at the box office, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it'll do well.
Yeah, I think so too.
It'll definitely make back its budget, and then some.
On video, it'll be a huge smash.
It will be
because just the music alone is, and the soundtrack is pretty good.
It is very catchy stuff.
I'd be happy to give it to you if you'd like.
Cool.
This is the troubadour scene right near
Yes,
the beginning.
it
He's
is.
wearing the jumpsuit and which he actually wore. There he is. There's Elton.
And I forgot that Elton shows up in the second Kingsman film. He's being like held prisoner at that crazy
correct.
place that
Yeah,
Julianne
yeah,
Moore
yeah,
created.
right.
That was fun.
That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah, the
so they
Kingsman
were
movies are
obvious-
good.
The
They're
Kingsman
doing,
movies
they're
are
doing
good.
one more with his
Starring
character.
Taron
Yeah,
Egerton.
one more.
Yeah.
And then he's done, and then they're going to do prequels.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
But anyway, so why don't we move
By the
on?
way, also in China, they cut out all
I
the
know.
kissing scenes.
Oh, I thought that was in the
Was
Middle
it
East.
Russia?
No, it was in the Middle East.
No,
Somewhere over there,
China,
I thought.
no, China.
China too?
Actually,
Or was it Russia?
It was Russia.
It was Russia.
It was Russia.
Yeah, he condemned it. Elton
Cut
condemned
out
it.
all the kissing scenes.
Yeah.
And they were intense kissing scenes.
There were a couple bed scenes.
I know.
I was
know.
waiting for thrusting to happen.
You were?
Well, not out of desire, but I thought
Just
they were going to go
because-
there.
Well, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But then there would have to be, you know,
Yeah.
they would have to be. Well, we don't want to.
We don't need to get into the
We don't need
specifics.
to get into that.
But let's move on.
But
I would
there
say 3 stars. And I will say it is a big screen movie. It's really,
Was it
nice.
disappointing for you, or did you just all out like it?
I really enjoyed it.
Did you?
I'm not the world's biggest Elton John fan as it is. I'm not.
Okay.
I didn't really go in with too many expectations.
Right, fair
so
enough.
for me, I was satisfied with it.
Okay.
I probably liked it a little bit more than you did, but I'm going to stick with my
Yeah.
3 stars.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
a 4-star film, but it's for me very enjoyable.
Well, you know, since
It's a
you
good
put
time.
it in terms of a rock and roll fantasy, which is exactly what it is.
I think that's what
you know,
they were
every
going for.
song is a big production
Yeah.
number, which was a bit of a turn off to some extent for me. I would have preferred more of the quiet moments, like
Yeah.
in Bohemian. I think Bohemian kind of set a great standard and a great blueprint
Yeah.
for the rock Bible.
That kind of
cake.
almost set an unreasonable standard now of excellence.
Yeah, but
as a rock and roll
only
film.
because of Raimi's
Oh,
performance.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, you know, as a film itself, it's elevated 10 times because of the brilliant
He's so
performance of Raimi. He just acts with his eyes.
I know.
He doesn't even have to talk. The man is brilliant.
He was great.
He's a brilliant little actor, and rightfully he won the Oscar for that.
Part of me still wants to see the Sacha Baron Cohen version, though.
I would love to see
That was supposed to happen for
I
a long
know,
time, and
I
again,
know.
he left the project too.
And Sasha is a chameleon also, but
I think he would have been just as good.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree, and it may have won the Oscar.
that
also.
would have been cool.
Who
Get
knows?
the Oscar that he should have gotten for Borat.
Yeah, right.
That was the most ballsy performance in the past 10 years.
I'll tell you something.
Nobody else could have
Borat.
done that.
How about the other one?
Dictator?
the
I didn't
gay-
see that.
No, the gay one.
where he plays Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was
God.
pushing the limits too.
That film.
And that
was
TV show he had on
really
Showtime was great.
Or Ali G.
Yeah. Well, no, the new one.
No, the new one.
Yeah.
The new
Anyway,
one.
we're digressing. Let's move
We
on.
are.
But check it out. I think it's worth seeing. But you can also watch it at home. You don't have
Yeah.
to run out to see
You know,
it.
you didn't show any pictures of the father.
I couldn't find one.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't find one.
Would have liked to have seen
Me
the
too.
dad here.
He was good.
And, he was good, and he was a prick. And of course, when he breaks into song during the "I
That
Want
was
Love,"
cool.
I
Yeah, that
Need
was a
Love,
great scene.
You know, it kind of took him out of the the meanness there
A
as
little
he's
bit.
breaking into
They humanized
song.
him a bit. He's
They
a
did
military
humanize
guy,
him.
you know.
I know.
Can't show affection.
Exactly.
On to our next film tonight.
Ma.
Ma, starring
saw it today.
the wonderful Octavia Spencer.
Okay.
This film is. Do
Now ask me, do I think you like this film?
you think I like this film?
I think you did.
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought she was really good. I thought that she. Well, let's real quick before we get into that. If you don't know what Ma is, she plays a very lonely, kind of a disturbed woman who starts becoming friends with a group of teenagers by buying them liquor, and then
Well, they ask her.
they
to
ask her
buy-
because they're underage.
You're right.
And then by chance they meet her, and she ends up asking him to come party in her basement, and she becomes part of their crew. And then things start to get a little weird when she starts getting obsessed.
We just spoke about the film Greta. Not how long ago?
Last
2 weeks
week.
ago. Was it last
Last
week? 2
week.
weeks.
No,
2 weeks.
last week.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago we did Greta. With
Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yes, it was with Chloe Grace Moretz and the same kind of obsessive female personality.
No, last week was Greta. Right
No
here.
way.
Right here, last week, because then we did Charlie Says afterwards. Greta was last week.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. No, we were going to do it the week before,
Yeah.
but I had to get
Yeah.
you the film. Correct. All
Yeah.
right, you are right.
But this is the young girl. She's the lead.
Yep. Also in Booksmart.
Yeah,
she
she's
plays,
also going to cover a student in Booksmart.
Right,
yeah.
right.
And her mother, played by Julia Lewis, moved back to rural Illinois, which is the hometown of Julia Lewis, where they were living in San Diego for a while.
Right.
And now she moves back, and she's the fish out of water in a new town. She makes friends.
This film was a total waste of time in my book.
Yeah.
I did not like this film at all. First of all, it's an hour and 39 minutes.
Very short.
It's a short film for us because
Yeah.
we're so used to these
250.
2-hour and 10-minute films nowadays.
Or like a film we're going to cover later, 2
You
hours
know,
and 43 minutes.
Well, that American Honey, oh my God. But I got to tell you something. I mean, it took, this is ranked as a horror film.
It's not a horror at all.
Well, it's not really a horror
it's
film.
like
It's kind of
psychological
like
thriller,
it's
maybe.
like a Hallmark after school kind of attitude, kind of filler type film to me. The only saving grace to this movie was
Is her.
Octavia
I agree.
Spencer.
I agree.
That's the only reason this film is actually released in theaters.
I agree.
Otherwise, this would have been a Showtime, HBO, or just
direct-to-video.
Direct-to-video, direct-to-on-demand.
I agree.
But you know something? I did not care for this film. I mean, she's got the... Now, I'm going to get into... There's a little bit of a spoiler here, if you will. There's a revenge that happened to her as a child. There's something happened to her.
Well, this is a revenge for things that happened to her as a child.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So something happened to her. But what happened to her wasn't that big of a thing. It wasn't that big of a deal. She was humiliated. She was caught. She had to perform oral sex on
She
somebody.
thought it was like the most popular guy, and
Right.
it turned out to be some other guy. you know,
Exactly.
and she
Well,
got
they
humiliated.
substituted somebody else in a dark closet.
I know,
But
she
I
got
believe the
humiliated.
first time she did do the oral sex on the
No,
right
no,
guy.
only did it one time. To
No,
the guy in the closet.
No, twice.
Shoot, I
The
don't remember
first
that.
time, the first time they bring her into the closet, and she's in the closet with the guy, and the scene ends right there. Next, you see her out. I thought,
I didn't remember there were two closet scenes.
Yes. Then you think, oh, something's going to happen to her in there. All of a sudden, no, she's out eating lunch with the rest of the crew, and then they bring her back, obviously, and this time they substitute him with some other dwarky
I don't know how I
guy.
missed that first
Well,
one.
that's in there. You missed it. I just saw it today, and it was there. But regardless, that just wasn't that, for all the revenge that she goes after in this film, it's an oral sex
Well, she's
moment.
She's messed
she
up.
comes out and she's humiliated.
Yeah.
But she's also got a daughter in this film.
And she treats. Well, yeah, that's just. Well, yeah.
She's
I
got
don't
a
want to
daughter.
get too much into it because that's a reveal.
I understand, but
Yeah.
you know something. There's no reference to that. There could have been. It could have been that she was maybe gangbanged or something. There could have been. This film could have been a better script. It
I
could have
agree.
been a much more revengeful reason for her to get back at the
I
people
feel like
that
she kind of
does.
flies off the handle.
She
goes
doesn't
crazy.
The film is an hour and 39 minutes. It doesn't really kick into any of the deaths and the misery sequence
Yeah.
we have with what's-his-face.
With a penis in her hand at one scene.
With a penis in her hand at one
She
scene.
wants to cut somebody.
Look like,
It would have been much better if she cut it off.
it looked like, well, she might as well
It
have.
would have been more interesting.
She might as well have
Yeah.
cut it off after what she does to him. But,
Yeah.
I just thought, hour and 10 minutes before we get to any kind
know.
of deviance.
It really
within
takes
her.
a while.
This movie just plods along and nothing's happening. She invites all these kids over to her house. Finally, she becomes the mama to their party scenes,
Yeah, I know.
and without the parents, and she invites them all over. She's giving them shots. They have these sequences. She also works with
Allison Janney at
Allison Janney
a
in a
veterinarian's
veterinary
office.
shop. You're thinking, oh my God, she's going to start injecting stuff into the drinks that she gives them, which she kind of laced
A little
only
bit.
one person, our main star. That's the only person.
No, everybody
So
had
at the
some.
end-
Everybody was knocked out.
At the end, later, yes.
Yeah.
But in the one scene, no.
No, only the one.
Just
yeah,
the
yeah.
one. She gives her the green, the red and the
Whatever that
green
was,
shot
yeah.
to do. This film just went on and on and on. It could have been so much better. It could have had power to it. Had no power at all.
Yeah.
And I don't even think her performance was all that great. She was adequate. She fit the bill. She did what she had to do. But the plot, the sequence, the writing was just so
I think she did the
subpar.
best she could with what she was given.
Why did she make this film? I want to know.
And it's your first lead role, too.
Is it? In
First-
any film?
First leading role in a film, yeah.
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Because everything else she's been is technically a supporting role.
I guess you're right.
It's her first
Well,
lead
The
role.
Help, of course.
That was
and,
supporting role.
Shape
Hidden
of
Figures,
Water.
Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Those are all technically supporting roles.
They are indeed.
Even though they're bigger roles, they're
Yeah.
still not the top billed lead role.
And also,
I thought the main girl, though, kept my interest, too.
well, she was very
I think
good.
her name is Diana something. Diana
Yeah,
Silvers.
right.
And like we said, she's
No.
also in Booksmart,
Also
which
in
we're going to be
Booksmart.
covering next.
And she's probably the girl of the
good.
day. She'll probably see her in a few
Yeah,
more
yeah,
films.
exactly. She's
and
in
then
the-
she'll fade away, and
Most
she'll, do whatever she does in life.
Yeah.
I hope she continues acting. I thought she was
Yeah, I thought she was good.
I thought this girl, her best friend, I thought she
Wasn't
good.
bad, yeah.
I thought all the little
were
sub
good,
characters,
yeah.
all the little gang,
The
the
kids.
little teenage gang.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
I thought they were all adequate.
Yeah.
There just was nothing about this film to make me want to watch it.
I agree. I would not tell anybody to
not-
run out to see see this.
Not recommend
You
this
can
to
watch this.
anybody.
You can watch this on Netflix in a year, and you'll be fine.
Oh, forget about it. I wouldn't even watch it on Netflix. I would ignore this film to its dying
Well, see,
day.
for me, the only reason I tell people if you want to see it, it's you watch it for her. I liked her in it.
Yeah, but the hell with that.
But the
You
film
okay, her performance
definitely could have been better.
As I say, that her performance even wasn't that great because the writing wasn't that great. But I just the whole plot of what you're left with at the end of a film is what you're left with. It's a memory. We're just storing shit in our brain. We just have this big giant warehouse.
I know.
And you know something? I say, leave this box. You know, I'm thinking of the end of Indiana Jones when they go to that warehouse and all these giant boxes, and then the camera backs up and you see that this is an endless abyss of boxes, and that's how I feel my brain has become. And you know something? I didn't need this film. I didn't need this piece of garbage in my brain. I just felt that it was just worthless. There was nothing about this film I could recommend to anybody. As a horror film, give me some good horror.
It's not a horror at all.
Me some...
They play very fast and loose with the term horror film these days. I can't tell you the last really great horror film that came out.
Okay, there's a really nice... I had to go to a different theater to see this film. I went to the Nanuet, and there's a black guy. I've known him for years. He used to work over at the Palisades. Now he stands alone there. I saw him today. I went, oh my God, you've lost so much weight. And he's just a great guy. So I said to him, I'm going to see mine. Have you seen it? He goes, yeah. I said, did you like it? He goes, yeah. Oh, I thought it was really good. I said, is it kind of gory at all? And he goes, yeah, oh yeah, it's
gory,
it's
really?
Gory. Well, it was. The goriest part, we see somebody get run over.
Oh yeah, that was
brutal,
a good scene. That was good.
Brutal.
Yeah. And there's a certain character that gets your lips sewn together. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, but that's standard stuff. That was from.
I know. It's not the first time we've seen that.
That was from the D. Snyder film.
Strangeland.
Strangeland. I love that film.
I didn't see it.
And it's great.
Yeah.
And you know who's in that film? Is
a bunch of people.
Well, the main one was the wife from Green Book, who's now on that.
Linda Cardellini. That's right. She was in that.
Right. That was her first film. She's on the poster.
That's right.
But oh man, you know this film.
So okay,
let's move on.
Let's
big thumbs down for me. Just
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's
rubbish,
great at all.
trash, garbage.
I probably liked it a hair more than you, but I still didn't like it.
Oh.
All right, now Booksmart.
Didn't care for it.
It's basically kind of like a female version of Superbad. What's going on here?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. Anyway,
there we go. Is it gonna change?
It should be.
pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is two girls, best friends, high school. It's the last day of school. She's the class president. She's her best friend, and they want to have a night out and go to all the parties like their contemporaries.
Let me embellish. They
never
spent
do.
their entire high school world just studying being
getting ready
good
for
girls,
college, yeah.
getting ready for their SATs and getting great scores on there so that they can go to Yale and Harvard, wherever they want to go. And of course, then they discover that all their other friends in their little semi-gang are also going to Harvard and Yale and Princeton, and they partied all year round.
So they're resentful.
So they're pissed off.
Especially her.
Yeah, there's Olivia Wilde, our director, right there.
It's their directorial debut as a feature film director.
I gotta say, I think she did a great job.
I think so too.
I think this is a beautifully directed film.
I agree. I actually really enjoyed this movie.
Did you?
I did.
I did too.
I thought it was fun. This girl is one of the big plot points that she's a lesbian, hasn't really had any relationship.
Right, she hasn't kissed a girl
Her best
yet.
friend is trying to help her to come out of her shell a little bit, so to speak.
Out of the closet, so
exactly. She's got a crush on a guy, you know how that works.
But, I like the fact that they used somebody who's not they didn't go for the two beautiful, most beautiful girls
with the cute girl and her friend.
The semi-cute girl and her, her very intellectual friend. But and it did have echoes of Superbad with,
Well, here's the ironic thing. The other girl, her friend in this film, this is the girl we just saw in Ma.
Right.
Yeah, she's a girl. That's Billie Lourd, by the way, Carrie Fisher's daughter.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's her. Yeah. She played this character named Gigi. Okay. But the other lead, I guess the chubbier girl, right here, her name is Beanie Feldstein. You know who she is?
No.
Jonah Hill's younger sister.
Oh, wow.
She kind of looks like him a little bit.
Well, he lost a brother recently.
He had a brother that died,
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I agree.
He did indeed.
Like within the past couple of years.
Yeah. There was a whole kind of
I didn't
culture.
buy that storyline that would really be happening like that.
I agree.
That seemed like a movie contrivance, but I let it go because it's a comedy.
I got to tell you this. When the film first started, I wasn't into it at all. I sat here, I'm watching, I'm kind of drifting away. I'm not really into the film. I don't know why. It just didn't really capture me. I just didn't give a goddamn, to be quite honest. I'm just so used to the cliched. There's no plots anymore worth a damn to me. I got to be honest. You and I sit and watch 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 movies a week.
I know.
And we have many films on backup and in reserve that we just want to see and want to do.
And we're making ourselves watch movies that sometimes we don't want to watch.
We don't want to watch. I didn't want to go see Ma today. I just didn't want to go see it.
I wasn't dying to see it either.
I did want to see Rocketman.
I
wanted
did
to
too.
go to the theater. I wanted to experience that in the theater.
Yeah, I agree.
I was a little bit let down, but regardless, it is what it is, and it's a creative film.
It is.
But regardless, so okay, this film I just didn't give it. Okay, so they're gonna go out and party, and it's R-rated, and they're gonna have fun. Here's Olivia Wilde's husband,
Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis playing the principal of the school. I just didn't care. I just thought, my God, this movie, it means nothing to me. Where, in the case of 8th Grade, for example, the brilliant film by Bo Burnham.
That was great.
That was such a beautifully made film. We've lost our pay.
For some reason, the poster's not playing.
You're skipping a shot.
I don't know why.
But there was then a scene where they get themselves to the party that they're trying to get to.
Yeah, that was.
It's all a big rigmarole to get there.
I feel like the movie really takes off there.
Well, visually for me, there's a specific song that Olivia Wilde used. It's by a group called Perfume, believe it or not. And it's a.
I know the scene you're talking about. That was great.
I saw this band sing that song on Stephen Colbert one night, maybe a year ago. And the lead singer is very effeminate and so forth, but I love the song. It's a very synthesizer.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah.
And then suddenly, to the music, we have one of our girls dive into the water.
Yes.
And it just suddenly, I was visually captivated.
Yes.
Suddenly, the film came alive for me. I kid you not. I mean, there were some other scenes where they have to follow the pizzeria. Who was the pizzeria driver? I've seen this guy. The pizza driver, we find out, is a serial.
Yeah, I forget who that is, but he's been in a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
But there was a nice shot that she did in the pizzeria when we start with the chefs and we kind of move, the camera moves along, and like a Scorsese shot.
Yeah.
We move along and we see all the things that from the register to this.
Exactly, yes.
We go along and suddenly we see the pizza being made and then suddenly get into the hand of the driver.
And he kicks out the door.
A very simple.
Olivia Wilde did a great job.
Simple concept,
yeah.
But just visually speaking, she did a really nice job.
I agree.
And I think she got decent performances out of these people.
Yeah.
I didn't love this film, but I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to.
Definitely.
It was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
I ended up caring about the characters, which for me is always
a little bit
nice.
I thought that whoever was driving that car was just absurd at the end. They have this Dodge Charger. Whatever.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
and they're driving around.
They show up at the school. Yeah.
Well, I kind of like that. That was cool.
It was fun.
While they're driving there, I mean, the car's tipping over.
Yeah, I know.
It was so stupid.
Driving.
It just bothered me.
Yeah.
But I
like her parents are Will Forte and Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah, that was kind of
fun.
fun.
They think they're a gay couple.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it was. I thought it was a very easy watch.
I won't watch
hour,
this.
45 minutes.
I won't watch this film again.
I might watch it one more time for that end party scene because I love that song too. The whole sequence was great.
Yeah.
I might watch that part again.
Okay.
But so I mean, I think it's definitely worth checking out.
It's a 3-star film.
But it's a Netflix film. Watch it at your leisure at home.
It's not on Netflix yet.
But it's coming soon. It's already on Netflix overseas.
Yes, it is.
But we had to go out and see it in the theater.
But
I didn't realize it was a Netflix film until recently.
It's still playing in the theater.
I know it is. Of course it is.
Right now.
Well,
that's why we saw it.
Yeah. So all right. So let's move on.
All right, next we're going to now go to
American Honey.
American Honey.
Which is a film that's on Netflix. It's from 2016. It's kind of a bizarre idea for a movie. It's about a girl who's kind of right here played by Sasha Lane, and it's actually her film debut.
Excellent.
She's excellent.
Dynamite.
She's been in a few other things recently. Most recently, the new Hellboy she's in.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she plays the young girl he meets, that he is friends with.
Oh, okay.
She was also the girl who's missing a leg, or was it an arm, in the Miseducation of Cameron Post with Chloe Grace Moritz.
Oh, is that right?
That was her too.
Okay.
But this film is about a girl who gets
Louie, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Louie. A girl who gets fed up with her kind of a crappy life in Oklahoma, and she joins this traveling group of magazine subscription sales
Which
kids.
is the root of all evil here is Mr.
Shia LaBeouf plays
LaBeouf.
like the top salesman of this group, and he's like the leader, the macho alpha guy.
And let me just say right off the bat,
It's a 2 hour,
Shia LaBeouf has never
43
given,
movie.
You know, a lot of people don't like Shia LaBeouf because he's a whack job in real life.
Yeah.
And he'll hang out and he'll pull his pants down out in front of a 7-Eleven somewhere, and you know he's just a weird guy. He sort of reminds me of the original Andy Kaufman in a way.
Yeah.
He'll do stuff. He'll do very mad and almost insane little bits of theater out in the world,
I know.
forgetting in fact that he is a star.
He'll sit-
He'll
yeah.
get drunk at a post office or something, and he shows up at the wrong place doing the wrong thing, but on screen the kid delivers.
He's a good actor.
He delivers every time. He's spectacular.
He did that one movie, Man Down, where he played a PTSD soldier.
Oh yeah,
That was good.
very good.
Yeah, I thought
Well
he was
done
very
film.
good in this.
This film felt to me, you know, I must say that visually I didn't care for the non-letterbox file. The whole film is a
I know
square.
on Netflix. I hate that.
You know,
I hate that shit.
I've never seen that before.
I've seen it a couple times.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've never seen a film just be a
I know,
square.
it's just a square.
The whole sides
I
are
know.
completely cut off.
Yeah.
So we're just looking at a square for 2 hours and 43 minutes. That's a long time to be staring at a square.
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest, I love this woman right here.
She was
she's
good.
She's kind of a, I don't know what she is. She's a lesbian kind of a, but she has a heart.
A lot of these
in
are all
this film-
first-time actors.
A
You
lot
can
of these
get
people-
the realism.
And I felt very sincerely that there was no script here. This dialogue was fast and furious.
Well, there was a lot of improv, I read.
Absolutely.
And what's
Had to
cool
be.
is they shot the movie in sequence, which helps the actors quite a bit.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
She's dynamite.
She's-
I loved her.
She gives an amazing performance.
She does.
First
She-
time as an actress.
constantly you
she was
feel-
discovered at a beach. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I thought she was captivating in this film.
Didn't even feel like a film. It felt like you were a fly on the.
Well,
on
you
the
know what?
camera
You know what
lens.
this reminded me of? Kids.
Oh.
A little bit of Kids.
You know what it reminded me of also was that film set in Florida with Willem Dafoe.
The Florida Project.
The Florida
I love that
Project.
movie too.
Yeah, that had
Yeah.
that same kind of.
I know
feel.
what you're saying exactly.
Gotta say, Riley Coe is in this film. This
Riley
is
Keough, yeah.
Elvis's granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
This is well, actually,
Yeah.
this would be yeah.
Yeah.
His
Her
wife
mother is
so-
Priscilla Presley, correct?
No,
Lisa Marie.
Her mother is Lisa Marie.
Lisa Marie.
Correct. So.
So
but-
she's Elvis's granddaughter.
correct.
Because
Yeah.
Lisa Marie is Elvis's daughter.
Daughter.
Yes. okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only had the one daughter.
Yeah. And
Lisa
Riley
Marie.
Keough in this film plays
Named
the.
his
She's
plane.
in charge.
Named his plane the Lisa Marie.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Yeah, she's Riley Keough in this film. She plays like the
she's
owner of this little
dynamite.
traveling company.
Dynamite. Never
She's
seen her
great.
give a bad performance.
She's really good.
And she's braver than shit, Riley Coe.
Yeah.
I mean, in the house that Jack
Remember that?
built. Oh my
What happens
God.
to her in that movie?
Oh my God! She
Yeah.
gets literally has her.
Let's
she is-
not. Yeah.
It's
Check out the house that Jack built.
Yeah, she.
But there she is. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
She was great in this movie, the little bikini.
And
she gives a good performance
She's
in this
excellent.
movie. I bought that this was her business.
I did too.
She's tough.
Look at her. She looks like a tough businesswoman,
Yeah.
and she's in charge with Shia LaBeouf. And I
Yeah.
guarantee Shia really had that thing. That's not a.
Oh
phone.
yeah, he definitely put that in.
He definitely put that.
See this
thing in
film,
his eye.
these kids travel around in a van across the country, city to city, selling door-to-door magazine subscriptions. A lot of it is with kind of like scammy pitches to get people to feel sorry
Well,
for you.
They don't have to do that.
No, but that's
they
what Shia
choose-
does.
They choose to do it.
Yeah.
Has a little Zoe Kravitz thing
Little
going
bit.
on
Yeah.
there, but just a great expressive face.
She does.
You know, she has a little bit of a thing going on with Shia
Yeah.
here, and you know he disappoints. He lifts her up. There's a lot of anger, a lot of white trash
There
kind of
is.
fighting with each other. This guy is great. I thought this guy was excellent. Everybody has a little
Yeah.
story about them, which is like real life. I remember once in my life, I was running a store, a record store, and I was in fact going to leave that store and go on a bus. There was a whole bunch of people there, and they were going to go around the country to sell magazines.
Interesting.
And that's exactly what they were going to do. And they invited me. They said, "Why don't you come with?" I just said no. I don't know.
I was-
Apartment. I had a girlfriend. I did.
You had a good situation for a while there.
I didn't want to. But I did. I wanted, to hop on
but
that van
just for the fun, yeah.
and go
But the
on-
drudgery of that job, I was watching like the last thing I want to do is go door to door trying to sell fucking magazine
I know.
subscriptions. Remember when you did the Omaha Steaks? You wanted to kill yourself.
Oh, that was horrible.
You hated that.
Yeah, I did. Well, I only did it.
Sales is tough.
I think I did it for a day.
Sales is hard. I mean,
did it for a day.
I do sales on the side, and it's hard.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
tough.
It is tough.
But this kind of sales is thankless.
Yeah, absolutely. And they say that too.
Yeah, this is almost a bunch of like vignettes. There's not a big story, not a big plot, but it kind of, I gotta tell you, this movie sucked me in. And before
No,
I
it did.
realized
It
it,
did.
I'm almost done. 2 hours 43. Oh, that's all in
Well,
one
good
sitting.
for you. Yeah.
I can see how this movie could feel tedious to some people.
Well, there's a lot of scenes where we're staring out the window.
They could have trimmed the movie. Though. It didn't need to be
a
2:43.
solid
Hour.
easily.
This could have been an hour 43.
It could have, but as a travelogue, as a road picture,
Yeah.
it gave you the goods.
And it worked.
It gave you the goods.
It
It
did work.
gave you that feel like you really were in a traveling van
Yeah.
selling
Yeah.
shit around
I'll
the
be honest,
country.
I have very fond memories of watching this movie. Like already.
Okay.
It's going to be a movie that I'm going to remember fondly. It's not
Yeah.
like the greatest cinema ever.
Yeah, we don't want to run back to it, but
but
it's well
I
shot.
remember it well. It's a good 3-star film.
No, absolutely.
I liked it.
I'd go 3.5 on this.
This is who directed this, by the way?
Andrea Arnold.
Yeah, she did a movie called Fish Tank.
Oh, okay. I love
And-
Fish
Yeah,
Tank.
I didn't see Fish Tank.
It's a Criterion
She did.
film,
I know.
so-
Yeah, she did Fish Tank.
No, I like this quite a bit.
I
This
thought it was
also
very
won the
well
jury
done.
prize at the Cannes Film
It did. It was a big hit. I remember hearing a little bit about it when it was
Yeah.
out, and it stayed in my brain a little bit, but I hadn't remembered it 100% until we discussed watching
Yeah.
it.
I-
But I'm
I-
glad we did.
I don't know
Glad we
why
watched
it
it.
made me think of Boyhood a little.
Yeah, a
you
little
know,
bit.
Just the.
That was a
whole-
good movie, too.
It was a great film.
Very ambitious project. Shoot it over 10 years.
I know. But this was a long film.
It was long.
I liked. There were certain scenes that reminded me of Moonlight in this film, where that
Yeah,
should have been.
I know what you're saying.
That should have been dangerous.
Yeah.
Very
'Cause-
often she's not making money. She hops into a car with 3 guys in cowboys hat. One of those guys I knew.
Yeah, that was, what's his name? Who's been in a million movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Clint Eastwood films.
Yeah,
and
he's
been
friends
all
with
over the
Clint.
place.
Yeah, no, he's been.
Right.
Yeah, he was
It
Armageddon.
doesn't matter, but the 3
Yeah.
guys.
Will Patton.
Why don't you hop into the car with us, darling?
You're
Come on.
thinking to yourself,
You're thinking,
oh my God,
man,
she's getting
she's
gang
gonna
raped.
get raped. She's gonna horrible. They're gonna shoot her
Yeah,
with drugs.
but the movie takes
and her-
unexpected turns, which is what I like.
Also-
Not predictable.
And there also every time that she gets into a truck and quite a few times she
Yeah.
does some hitchhiking.
Yeah.
There's one guy in a semi.
Remember when the Oilers, the guys, the oil workers, when she gets.
Oh yeah.
That situation was like, what the hell are you
I
doing?
mean, my God, you just think, oh, gee, she's going to die here.
Yeah.
I really felt.
Me too.
And then there's one guy at the end where there's a sexual
Yeah.
exchange.
That crosses the line.
And
there,
you just
for
think
her.
to yourself, oh man, she's going to end up in that field right over there, and she's going to die. And no. And then I love the scene when he says to her, all right, they have their little sex in his
Yeah.
truck. And she's saying, boy, this is a really nice truck. And he goes, well, yeah,
Yeah.
And then after he pays her, you think he's just going to kill her and take the money back? No. And then he says, can I kiss you goodnight? And she says, sure. So she kisses him goodnight. It's a very gentle, sweet kiss
Yeah.
goodnight. She goes off and joins her crew again. I tell you,
I gotta say, like putting.
it was like the end of Moonlight, where you think something horrible is going to happen,
I know.
and just
It
the
doesn't.
opposite. It ends gently and sweetly, and it takes us out of that movie pressure that directors put on themselves to create violence out of violence
I
and
know.
to just perpetrate something sensationalistic.
I know.
So that we as movie watchers are satiated.
I know.
But I
like
love
that
it.
it didn't go in those
I
directions.
love it when they go back. They
know.
contradict
I know.
and they give us sweet and nice
I agree.
and gentle. I love it.
Yeah, because
It goes against the grain and it feeds me hope.
Because how many times we watch a movie where you're like, that was so contrived, why did they do that?
Yeah.
And this movie feels true. Like, there's a lot of scenes that it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, and I was happy to see that. I am so tired of predicting movies when I'm watching it. I forget what else I watched this week. We'll talk about
for
that
example.
in a minute.
Ma, for example. She's got this daughter that's kind of hanging. She's obviously trying to kill the daughter.
Yeah.
She's
keeping
keeping
her
the daughter sick.
Yeah.
It's called the Methuselah syndrome
Yeah.
or whatever it is. And you're thinking to yourself, well, why is she doing this to her own daughter? We don't even go into that. Who's the father of this daughter?
All we know is that he walked away or whatever, left her.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there could have been, as I say, to get back to that film, it could have been so much more involved and revenge-ridden, but it's not. I mean, that movie to me was just the biggest waste for this whole week. I love this woman, though, here, in the relationship. There's just a sweetness to this movie, I gotta say. The only gritty section is with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
When, their love affair, they're very passionately, they'll fight and beat each other up, and then they're having sex the next minute. Then it's over. Then he doesn't talk to her for another.
He comes back.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Then they come back again. They do the same thing all over again.
See, I thought I have mixed feelings about him in this movie. Like, I buy him in this role.
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, I did.
But given the way that he is, given what we know about his character, and
his
the way
character in the film.
yeah,
not
no,
him.
not
as a
him. No, I'm
person.
talking about his character.
Okay.
I feel like the character felt like it should have been played by somebody with a little bit more traditional handsome appearance, like maybe like a Ryan Gosling, you know.
Oh, really?
I thought not like I want
No,
Ryan in this film.
No.
But I just feel
thought he
like
was perfect. I thought he was.
I
good.
almost feel like I don't know, like he's almost a little too trashy than maybe would she be as into him. But maybe she is.
No,
'cause
I
she's
like the
kinda trashy.
trashiness of him.
You know, I just kind of
Well,
felt like we needed an actor a little bit more handsome. I don't know.
Oh, really? Oh, not at
But
not
not,
me at all.
and I guess he has a weird long rat tail, which is kind of
I know, that
that
is
was
kind of
strange.
bizarre. No, he was fine for me. I think he was a
but
perfect
I
choice.
liked him. Like I'm not disappointed
Because
with him.
you wouldn't see a great-looking guy go out into a van to sell magazines.
We never know. Maybe
You would sell it. You would
he's
see.
very good at it, charismatic.
You
know?
would see a guy like this, who
Yeah.
just is a local kind of guy who didn't have much going on, didn't want to work at Home Depot, and just decided to go out. Sees her at a supermarket, and they kind of
Yeah.
hook up, eye-wise. Next thing you know, they're and Riley thrown in. I like.
I
this
don't
film.
blame her though. Once we see the beginning, what her life is like, I don't blame her for running off.
Oh no,
What
no,
a
no.
misery, depressing,
Oh, that was horrible.
Oklahoma environment
Yeah,
that
it
was.
was-
It was
it
terrible.
was quite,
bleak.
It was very bleak,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but you know, it takes us through a journey on this film.
Yeah.
It really,
No, it is,
really
and it's.
does.
I'm glad I
It's
went
on
on the journey.
Netflix, as we've said.
Check it out.
2 hours and 43 minutes, and you're just watching a square.
I know, that's the only
literally like
downside.
this,
Yeah.
just like that, but smaller.
Yeah.
It's a smaller.
Because if you
square.
hit expand to go to full screen, it doesn't take up the full screen. You're literally just in the middle.
Yeah,
It's
it's
that's kind of
really
annoying.
kind of.
Could they have
worthless,
got
but,
maybe get a better print, or was the way the movie was
well,
shot?
I just wish they
I don't
had
know.
just. All they would have had to do was just. No, that's all done in post.
Yeah, I just don't know why they did
Post prep, they easily could have just made this a regular big
that.
screen.
I don't know
film.
why they made that choice.
I don't know why they did either. It's to
Yeah.
be cool. It's to be different. It's to give us. Maybe she just wanted to frame this. This framed, you know, like a portrait of American life, American
could be.
honey, and to go symbolically in that respect.
Yeah.
But you know, for me, it didn't work. I love the singing in the van. They're all just joining in. The
Yeah.
camaraderie. It felt real to me.
It did. No, it felt very real. I
It
agree.
felt really real. Everybody introduces themselves. We get
Yeah.
you know, a character. They've all got the tats and the
Yeah,
story
all
to
different
tell.
story to tell you.
I loved it.
This must have been a bitch to edit because with
Yeah.
with improv, how
True.
many takes? It must have been tough to get this
Exactly.
movie together.
Well, no, I doubt it.
Improv is
would
tough
have
to
just done
edit.
each scene individually, step by step.
Yeah, but with improv, if you're going to do multiple takes with different actors, you don't necessarily know what you said in the last take. It takes a while to get improv
No, I
into a
got you.
groove
I got
for
you.
film.
Well,
Theater, it's a
know,
lot different.
True.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, I loved her though.
She was excellent.
Dynamite.
I loved her in this
I
film.
hope she does more.
To me, it's one of the standout performances I've seen in a long time.
Me too.
Yeah,
I
and I
agree.
can see why now she's getting
Yeah.
big roles.
Yeah, is she?
Very good.
Is she?
Well, like I said, he was in Hellboy.
Okay.
And she was in Cameron Post and a couple other things.
Oh, okay,
She's
good.
got a bunch of stuff coming out.
Well, this came out in 2016.
But that was
This
her
is
first film.
A 3-year-old.
So
film,
the past couple of years, she's starting to get work.
So figure this was probably made 5 years ago. You know.
They probably shot it in 2014 or 15.
I'll bet they shot this over a solid year
Probably,
anyway.
maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe they did
Maybe
it
over a summer.
Maybe they did it over 2-3 weeks. Who knows? Or 2-3 months.
I would say 2-3 months.
Yeah, I would too.
You can't get all
I
this in
would
2
too.
weeks.
Are we done? Or,
no, we got
one
Poison
more?
Rose.
Oh, Poison Rose.
So this is, I haven't seen a Travolta film in a while. This is on all the streaming platforms.
Yeah.
He plays a private detective in the 70s. It's got a lot of noir homage in this film. He narrates
If you
it.
say so.
Well, that's kind of,
Well, here we have the slinky.
He's asked to
brunette
do a
with
job.
with the
Yeah.
you know, with the fuck me black dress on. She walks into his. I think Travolta. I think it's a great look for him.
I thought he looked cool.
I thought he looked
I
cool.
thought he did a decent
I
job
think he
in
did a
this
decent
film.
job too.
I think he's just in a mediocre film.
Yeah, very
And
mediocre.
it's paint by numbers. When we was talking before about predictability,
Absolutely.
I had this movie pegged.
This
from
whole film.
20 minutes in, I knew what was
Oh
pretty
my
much going to
God,
happen.
You know, and a lot of people have stated how disappointed. Famke Jensen, though.
And his
By the
daughter,
way, this is
Ella
John-
Blue
Ella
Travolta.
Blue Travolta. That's John's daughter
Not
right
bad.
there.
She's
She
small
does
part.
have a little Pinocchio nose there when you see her from the side. Famke Jensen, who is just a beautiful, was
She got some
beautiful,
Botox or something done.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
it almost looks
very
like
evident.
she has
Yeah.
cheek implants.
Yeah.
And here's Brendan Fraser,
Looking very
from
Chupesque.
The Mummy, who's gone into. I thought he was good though.
He played that part pretty well.
I thought he played that demented
Yeah.
doctor. I thought Morgan, Morgan.
Paycheck film.
Yeah, paycheck all
Big
the
time.
way. I doubt.
He
I
plays
doubt-
a low, Travolta's character as he goes, he gets this job, he leaves Los Angeles because he
He
owes
gets
money
a job
all
to
over
go
town.
find out what's happened
And
to
he goes
this-
back to his hometown in
this
Texas,
woman.
Galveston,
Yeah. Right.
and he gets involved in his old world. Robert Patrick plays the local sheriff who's under the thumb of the richest guy in town, played by Morgan Freeman.
Correct.
And then we start learning about this old age home that maybe is a front for drug dealing, and that's where Brendan Fraser comes
Yeah.
in. Peter Stormare is kind of wasted in this
Oh,
film as a
boy.
local drunk, I guess.
Who?
Peter Stormare is in this film. He's the guy sly with the beard. I'll show him in a minute.
Okay.
You know Peter Stormare. He was in Fargo. He's been in a million movies.
Okay.
The Swedish
I
actor.
don't remember the name right off the top.
Peter Stormare. Fargo, the guy that
Peter's.
Stormare. Peter
Oh, okay.
Stormare.
Okay.
Million movies.
All right.
But it's not a very good film. I thought Travolta does what
Really
he can
weak.
with it.
Really weak.
Not great. 2 stars at best.
The shootout scenes are ridiculous.
It's like
Nobody
he's a
ever gets
marksman.
shot.
I know.
I mean, you've got 15 guys shooting at each other. Right now, I'm watching a show on Netflix called Nikita.
Yeah.
And in that show, we have
There
people
is
with
the film.
submachine guns, and they are shooting each other. Nobody ever dies.
I know.
Nobody ever dies in these films. I mean,
He
she's
knocks
behind
out
a
like
couch.
5
There's
people
4
in this
guys
movie.
shooting a couch, and she's just laying there
I
with her
know.
head down. And
It
then
gets
she
old.
jumps out the window and survives. Famke Jensen, oh my God, what this woman has done to her face is just a sin.
It's a sin.
This is a
Shame.
beautiful, beautiful woman who has put implants in her face. There's one particular scene there where she's out, I believe, on a beach, or no, she's in the cabana area.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, this guy.
That's Peter
yeah,
Stormare.
I
Yeah,
know
he's
him.
in a million
Yeah,
movies.
Prison Break. He's
Yeah,
been
of course.
a zillion. Always plays a bad Russian guy.
Usually.
The bad Russian. That's
Yeah.
usually who he is.
Yeah. 8
evil-
millimeter, he played the snuff filmmaker.
Oh yes, very true. But this woman, what she did to her face, my God! It's
I hate
like,
that these women
as I said
feel
to
the
you,
pressure from Hollywood to do this.
I don't know what the deal
There's
is.
Robert Patrick.
There's Robert. He's okay in the film. It's a waste. It's a waste
It is. It kind of is.
I mean, they wasted everything on the budget. The script is horrendous.
I know.
There's just nothing going on
I know.
here. I thought John was okay.
I thought John was the best part of the film for me.
I thought he was good.
I've
he
always
carried the
liked,
film.
I've always
to some
liked
extent.
John.
Absolutely.
It's a shame that unfortunately his career is constantly up and down.
yeah, yeah.
But you know what though? He's still working. I still enjoy him.
Famke looks like she was in a horrible, horrible car accident and had reconstructive
I know.
surgery. Just her cheeks, their implants. I wish you would have just done a close-up on her face because it's just a sin. You see beautiful women, Rose McGowan, I mentioned the other day, who's just completely destroyed their look. I mean, what's her name? 3 names. Used to be with Jack Nicholson. Lara Flynn Boyle.
Oh, you sure too.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Now she looks like a bag lady. In fact, they showed her
It's a shame that they do that.
pushing some cart in a lot somewhere, and she looks like an old bag lady. She's got.
Meg Ryan ruined her look doing all that shit.
Oh my God, Meg Ryan.
And now Renee Zellweger looks like a totally different person.
Totally.
Very
As does Jennifer Grey.
Yes.
She also looks like a totally
all she
different
did was get the
person.
nose job.
Yeah,
and
but
that changed her
She
big
looks
time.
like Renee still looks a little bit like Renee though. She just looks, and she denied it. She said, "Oh no, that's just aging. You're just seeing the aging."
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit is right. I mean, she completely changed her
I mean,
face.
she doesn't look bad.
No,
she looks pretty.
she looks okay.
But she just looks like a different person.
Jennifer Grey looks like a different
She looks
person.
good.
You see her as Baby in Dirty
Yeah.
Dancing, and
I always thought she was cute back then.
I thought so too.
Now-
Meg Ryan, adorable.
She
My
ruined
God.
herself.
Killed herself.
It's a shame.
It's over.
I hate that the industry makes women, but some men do
other
that.
women make women do that. That's how it happens.
No, but it's part of the industry pressure. Look the best, look young.
You know, I disagree. I think it happens
that's
amongst.
part of it.
Listen, you look at those Real Housewife of blah blah blah. You know, they all do the same thing. One of them will get it, and she'll look okay, and then another one will get it, and they'll do it to extreme.
Yeah, but it's a competition between them.
Exactly,
and that's why the actresses do
but
it.
it's also
It's all
they
part of
really
that
believe
culture.
it's and Madonna. Look at Madonna.
I know.
Same thing. I
There's
mean,
even men that do it. You get the Regis, You know, all these guys. There's a bunch
Burt
of them.
Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
One of the worst.
There's a few of them.
And as Burt Reynolds started to age right before he died, his face literally started to cave in.
I know.
You know, it just started to. His eye was up there,
It's
the
bad.
other eye is down
It's
there.
not a good look.
He looked like Quasimodo in
know.
Charles Lawton.
just embrace
Hunchback
your
and-
aging. We're all human. We're all gonna die. Just embrace it. I don't care. If I lose my hair, I don't care. If I start
Christopher
aging,
Guest.
I don't care.
Christopher Guest said to his wife, the lovely and beautiful
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. They're at a party together.
Yeah.
And this was like 10 years ago. And everybody was doing the Botox thing and so forth. And he says to her, he says, "Who's the most beautiful woman in this room?" And she says, and she looks around, and there's Jessica Tandy standing at the bottom of a staircase, looking graceful and aged.
Well, this is going back
Her-
20 years, then.
Okay,
Tandy's
must be
been dead
20
a long time.
Okay, has she? Okay,
Yeah.
well, there you go. Well, all right, I guess you're
She
right.
died in the 90s.
Did she?
I'm pretty sure.
No.
I think so.
Well,
We'll look it up later.
doesn't matter. But anyway,
But I
he
get the
said-
point of the story.
He said, "Who's the most beautiful woman in the room?" And of course, Jamie Lee said, "It's Jessica Tandy because she's." So Jamie Lee Curtis has never had any
Good.
kind of
She
surgery.
didn't.
Good for her,
Yeah.
and she looks terrific in.
You can tell Linda
Halloween.
Hamilton hasn't gotten anything done because the Syrian on new trailer.
I know.
She looks her
I
age.
still think she looks good.
She
Though.
does.
I think she
I'm
looks
happy
like,
to see it.
She looks like who she is.
I know.
I like that.
I like it too.
Let people look
I
like
know.
who they are.
I
but
agree.
It's ego. It's
I know.
It's, oh my God! Well, you saw Kim. What's her name from the Hitchcock film?
Oh, Novak?
Kim Novak at the Oscars one year.
Oh, yeah.
She
yeah.
came
I
out,
remember
ladies and
that.
gentlemen, Kim Novak.
Yeah.
She walked out, she looked like, Bozo the
I know.
Clown.
It was terrible.
It looked like the Avon lady blew
know.
up in her face.
Bad.
She had all this horrifying makeup. Her cheeks were up
Remember
here.
Joan Rivers?
Yeah.
Didn't even have an emotion
Yeah, but Joan
in
was
her
Joan was still Joan, and she made jokes about it.
I know she did.
And she'd say, every time I stand up, my breasts give me a standing ovation or something
That's
because they're
fine.
so low. But I mean, there's comedy and there's pathetic, and boy, I gotta say,
It's a shame.
it is a shame. It is a shame. How could he look her in the eye and not go, "What you doing to your face?"
I know.
You
He's wearing a massive hairpiece. Because now he's embracing the bald head,
I
finally.
know. I saw
Embrace
him.
it.
We saw him on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, and he looks good with the beard
looks
and the,
fine.
and the shaved
Yeah.
head. That looks like it's a good look. He looks cool. He's still cool.
Yeah.
I still like John.
I do,
I
too.
applaud what he did with this film.
Yeah.
He did the best he could.
He did.
He still tries. I love that movie from a few years ago, the Luc Besson film, From Paris with Love. He's the hitman.
Oh, that was a decent.
That was
film.
a fun film.
That was a decent film.
Yeah, no, he's still
He's
good.
done some garbage.
He
but,
has. Of course
the
he
Gotti
has.
film, for example.
Well, I heard that's bad. I
Oh,
still
that
want to
was-
see it, though.
I saw it.
I want to see it for the train wreck
Horrendous.
factor.
Well, that looks like a made for TV
It does,
film.
yeah.
It's just god awful.
And that was in development hell for a long time, too.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
many
somebody
people
else
were
was gonna-
attached.
somebody else was going to play Gotti.
At one point, Barry Levinson was going to direct it.
Was he?
Yeah.
I could see Pacino doing that,
Yeah.
as a Godfather 3
I guess he figured he's done that
sequel
already,
to,
you know?
I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to probably say you could pan the
Okay.
Poison Rose.
Absolutely.
If you like John,
Pan
check
it?
it.
You mean
Pan it, like don't bomb.
pan it means that
Panning
you give it a bad
means-
review.
Pan, that's what I'm saying. We
But
can pan.
you don't. We're panning it so that you don't have
That's
to.
what
see
I'm
it.
saying.
Yeah, but
I'm
don't.
saying-
They can't pan it. They have to just ignore it.
What? Okay, whatever. I'll rephrase. We're panning this film. Don't bother.
Yes.
But if you like John, you might enjoy him.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you not to see
Kelly
it.
Preston and John's daughter right here.
There were certain shots where I can see Kelly Preston. I can see
I can see Travolta too.
I can see both. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
but
he
that,
plays her daughter in the film also.
well, let's not give everything away. That's a
Well,
spoiler right
doesn't
there.
matter.
But I knew that was coming right away. I
Yeah,
knew
I
it
mean, come
the
on.
second I saw her. I knew it.
This film is a
It's-
throwaway piece of junk.
Yeah, it's not worth
Yeah,
anything. Really.
absolutely.
All right, guys. So that's our show. Let's just touch on what's coming out this weekend.
Okay, what's coming out, Chris?
We have the big movie is Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix, right
We
here.
will be doing this movie for next
Starring
week.
our lovely and beautiful Miss
Sophie Turner.
Sophie Turner
From
from Game of
Thrones.
Thrones, of course, who's
Yes.
now,
Miss
in
Jonas.
franchise heaven. My God,
is,
yeah, she's
yeah.
Mrs. Joe Jonas.
This is coming out. I'm not going to watch it, but I'm telling you it's coming out.
Who cares?
The only thing that's interesting about it is that Harrison Ford does a voice. Other
Yes, he
than that,
does.
Yeah.
He does indeed.
This came out of nowhere. I don't really know
no
much about
desire
it.
to see it.
I won't be watching it anytime soon.
And there's Mindy
Mindy
Kaling
Kaling
puts her
and
makeup on with
Emma
a
Thompson.
paint roller these days.
Here's the Pavarotti documentary by Ron Howard, which I will not be seeing probably.
I probably won't either.
I'm only
but
mentioning it because it's a significant thing that's coming
might-
out.
It's a documentary.
It is a documentary.
It is a documentary.
And this movie looks interesting. The Last Black Man in San Francisco is going to be playing in limited release.
Oh, who's in this?
Nobody you've heard of, I don't think. I think Danny Glover's in it.
It's heart-skippingly gorgeous,
But
and
I
exultant.
think it's a film we're going to be hearing a lot about.
Could be.
So
Could be.
it's noteworthy, and maybe I'll see it if I hear a lot of good things.
All right, there you go.
We'll see you next week, guys, for more.
See you next week.
More bantering.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Get some sleep.
Yeah, you got to get some sleep.
I know.
He's exhausted.
I am.
I had to
tired.
drag him out of a coffin for this week's show.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
It's not a cough that gets you off.
It's the.
It's a coffin
They take you off
in.
in.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Louie, where are you?
Road. Yeah, brother, going on. Yeah, Mr. Superman,